There was a young white kid shooting coke, shooting dope, lost hope, hung from a rope and left a suicide note. To her surprise, his mother walked in the room and was galvanized when she saw the death in his eyes. Searching for the beautiful black youth on the roof, ready to jump, walk off him.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about that, Keith.
This is a song I did called Suicide Prevention with my band, Spontaneous Combustion, from Long Island, New York. It's about suicide prevention and the stories that I've been through and I've personally lost people to suicide. Check it out. There was a young white kid, coke, shooting dope, lost hope, hung from a rope and left a suicide note. To her surprise, his mother walked in the room and was galvanized when she saw the death in his eyes. Searching for the truth of black youth on the roof, ready to jump, drunk off a 150 proof, fatalistic mood swings, from always feeling trapped with emotional tailspins due to setbacks. So we self-medicate to dull the stress, cause that's the only time that we don't feel stressed with no desire to live left. He put the burner in his mouth, pulled a trigger, and took his last breath. On her face, you could see the hurt as she overtly leaped off, screaming to her death head first to free themselves from the midst of sickness. Committing suicide, left the world bear witness. Suicide is a suicide. Suicide is a suicide. Suicide is a suicide. Don't do it. Do it. You can live through it.
That's beautiful. Wow. What inspired you personally to write that song?
Well, when I was in high school, like in '91, this girl that lived in a new development, she had issues with her personal life, and she sat in the garage and clogged up the exhaust pipe of her car, and she slowly died. And that's the first time I really heard about that really like affected me firsthand. And then one of my friends had to go do 90 years in jail, and on his girlfriend's birthday, which is a sister of mine from my brother, Brady Shakim Owens, the gatekeeper of the LOD, he got killed at the wreck. And my friend Twoface was in the garage and he shot himself in the head on her birthday because he couldn't go through that time, and that stuff started hitting me, and it drove me to create the record with my band.
Wow. And with the record that you produced, what does that reflect in your soul? Like, what is the message you want people to acknowledge through your experience coping with the pain and grief of a loss?
That these are situations that will pass as long as you exercise your support group, and it's we can all get through it together. So you don't have to react at that moment and do something that's gonna hurt your loved ones and affect your life. Keep living, this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's your source of strength? I'm sure there's moments where you felt like giving up, and yet you're still here. What's your source?
Well, my source is my grandmothers, my family, my children. At a young age, around 12, I did feel like giving up, but I was young, I didn't know any better, and I just was always like kind of upset of domestic violence around me, and you know, the drug abuse and around me, and I just seen a lot at a young age. And there was a story where my mother used to have this methadone clinic. They used to drink this orange stuff. And I just was like, you know what? Like a young kid, not realizing that if I drunk it, it would get me sick. I was like, yo, I'm gonna kill myself. And I drunk it, and I just was sick. And then I got over it. But I never really wanted to really kill myself or not be alive. It just was something I was going through at the moment, at a young age, young male who felt he had a lot of responsibility, and I was confused. But now I see that I never really wanted to kill myself, or that would have killed me. It just made me throw up and stuff. I guess I just was crying out for attention.
And I'm glad you didn't, because, you know, everything that you went through, everything you accomplished, look at it, you know?
Learning process, and it's a story for those who's going through it now, kids at risk, underprivileged kids that just need some inspiration. All things happen for a reason in every season.
And let's talk about the inspiration, because you obviously have a network, a whole group of people who support you, both personally and professionally. Can you talk about a little bit more about people in your life who's held you, became your rock? Anybody in the music industry, anybody inspired you through music?
Erick Sermon, definitely. He discovered Keith Murray. I went to him. K Solo took me to Oxford, take me to Erick Sermon, because he was affiliated with EPMD. He took me there, and it changed my life. I was selling drugs on the corner of Carlton Avenue, Central Islip, but at the same time I was going to college, just coming home from jail. My grandmother, Clara Hall, would always tell me, yo, you're going to do something. You're not just going to live in this house and think you can do something. You're going to school. I went to school, got signed up, New York Tech, Suffolk Community College for a first year. Then I met Erick Sermon, but I always was writing songs and rhymes from my Uncle T-Roy. He's the real inspiration in my life, the original B-boy from Roosevelt, Long Island.
And what would he say to you on those times you felt like giving up? Did you keep writing?
Well, at that point, writing in sports was my inspiration, and still is my inspiration, in education. So I never felt like really giving up. I just was going through things, and I would put it in my music, you know, and I would play basketball, soccer, track, wrestling, things of that nature, and study.
And what was the feeling after you finished a sport or finished a music? What was that kind of, you know?
Oh, it was the most beautifulest thing in the world, baby. Something kind of wonderful. Very exuberating, and a sense of purpose. You know, you get a good sweat. You win, you lose, you go back to the drawing board, you try harder, you get your accolades. All-American, all-league, going to the dinners, scoring 52 points against Wyandanch, shooting guard, bringing the ball up, cheerleaders going crazy, you know, and this is a sense of purpose. Working hard, you do good. You do bad, you get bad. I'm a strong believer in karma, and strong believer in that at the end of the day, where there's a will, there's a way.
That's so beautifully said. And even with the song, it's very apparent, you know, you'll get through it, is what you said in the lyrics, right?
Until my people's locked down doing time in prison, just wilding and illing with that time you given, stay productive. Find a purpose in your life and stick to it. Think through it. Get through the confusion. Your life deals cruel blows and twisted memories, but where there's a will, there's a way to make it out the misery. And the people that you love constantly lie to you, while the spirits of life and death war inside of you. Females can find their deepest secrets, but the world is just too preoccupied to peep it. So she cut the car on in her garage one night, slowly died when she clogged up the exhaust pipe. Suicide is a self-portrait of turbulence, painted by an artist with no life perseverance. To get through the hardship, we chuckle and laugh, but just keep living, this too shall pass. Hey, this is Keith Murray. This is a love story, the greatest love story ever told, and I too have loved and lost and gained love back. Love is the highest elevation of understanding, with a force so strong it can't be broken, not lusting over various emotions.